Tim, do you want to make me the co-host?
Yeah, I'm trying. It's only let me do host, so I'll make you the host, and then you can try to make me a co-host.
Okay, so you made me the host. Let me see. Okay, so what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna make you back the host. Go ahead and share your screen and then make me the host.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Tech Thursday. Whenever you're ready, Tim, you can get started.
All righty. Well, thank you everyone for being here today. We're going to be going through tasks and SmartPlans today in Command. Two of my favorite things because they allow us to automate Command for us and leverage our database so that it's working for us rather than us working for it. And so here I've got the home page of Command pulled up, and you can see the first box there is tasks. I don't have any tasks for today, but we're going to go through and create some. So on this little box here, you can do this little drop down up here in the corner. And there's three types of tasks, or two types of tasks for you all. There's contact tasks and opportunity tasks. Right now, we're just going to stick with contact tasks. So if I were to have a task, it would appear here. And I can see all my tasks right here on the dashboard. But since I don't have any, we're going to go in and create some. So over here on the left side, under contacts, there's a tasks menu. We can click into that. And this is another view for tasks. So this will show you all of your upcoming tasks as well. On the dashboard, will show you your tasks for today. But if you're looking for your tasks in the future, you can come into here and take a peek at those. Let me move this here. Alrighty. So we're going to go ahead and create a task. And tasks are, you can kind of think of tasks as like a to-do list. So, with tasks, it's, it can be for sending emails to prospects. It could be following up with people. You could use them during transactions to make sure you're staying on top of all your timelines. So it's really a, you can use them for, like I said, just general to-do type of opportunities. So we can come up here and hit create new task. And there's two ways to create tasks. We're going to start here and then we'll get into the other one in a moment. And so let's say that I needed to email a client or a prospect that I met at an open house to get their phone number because for some reason they signed in with just their email and I didn't get their phone number. So I'm going to create a task here to email the client to get their phone number. And then description, you can just include notes if you wanted to here, or if there was a particular script, if you were creating a task to call someone and there was a script that you wanted to use that you're comfortable with, you can also include that in here. And as you're getting into the contact and pulling up that task, you have the ability to go through and see your scripts or different notes that you may have put in there when you were building the task out. And then you can also add a hyperlink. So if you wanted to add like a link to your Command website with a specific search, like you already know that they're looking in Kirkland or West Seattle, you can go into here and put in that search. And that way you have the ability to save that hyperlink as well. You can create just a general task here that's not associated with a contact. So maybe you need to send out postcards to your sphere. You can create that task here. But let's say, we met this person at an open house and we want to contact that person individually. We can come down here in this middle button here called Associate Tasks. I'm going to click into there. And then in here, I can actually search for a contact. So let's say that we met Dwight at that open house. So I'm going to click here, and this is going to attach this to-do or this task to Dwight. So I'll hit Associate Task. And then I can create that new task for it. And so here you can see all of the tasks for any of the contacts. But if I wanted to see just tasks for Dwight, I could go into here and click into his name. This is going to pull up his contact card. And on the right side here, we have a timeline and opportunities, smart plans, which we're going to get to in a second. We also have tasks, and you can see this little bubble appeared. And that shows that Dwight has one task that hasn't been completed yet. And so I can click into there and I can see all of the tasks that are just for Dwight. And so I can click into those. And if I had the description in there, I could see, that script that I wanted to use or that link that I wanted to send him. You can also snooze the task as well. And so you can snooze it for, let's say, 3 days or a specific date. So if you're not able to get to it today and you're trying to prioritize other tasks, you can go in and snooze it. And it will remind you on your dashboard in a couple of days that, hey, this hasn't been done yet. You want to make sure that you get in there and email Dwight so that you can get his phone number. And let's say that Dwight reaches out to me first, right, and says, oh, I forgot to sign in with my phone number. Dwight has the ability to let me know that. And then I have the ability, I should say, to go in here and I can archive this task. So rather than checking it off and marking it as complete, I can also archive it. And then it asks, is this task no longer relevant? And I can say, yes, archive. And that will archive that task for me. And you can see it still will populate there. So you can still click in and find information on it, but it will show that it's already been completed. The other way that you can add a task here, let me refresh here. Okay. Another way you can add a task is by directly going into the contacts page and finding the contact that you want to attach the task to. We'll give Command a second to wake up here. Okay, so let's go back into Dwight. Then I can come over here to tasks and I can actually add a task directly from his contact card. And so if I knew that I needed to email him, I can create that task again. And then select the due date. Let's say that we want to do that tomorrow. And then did not sign in. Open house. And this is going to help our overall contact health score by getting that phone number in there. So we can create that task and it automatically attaches it to Dwight. And so with tasks, you also have the ability to attach tasks to multiple contacts. So you want to do that through this tasks button on the left, rather than going directly into the contact. So I can come up here to create a new task again. And if I wanted to attach multiple contacts, I could by going into associate contacts and then searching for the people that I want to apply that task to. So let's say Dwight and Michael need this task on their contact card. So we can select both of them and associate both of them with this task. And then check in to see how the home search is going. And then when I apply it, it will actually create a task for both of them. And so if you have, a bunch of contacts that you want to check in on, you can go in and create one task for multiple people rather than going into the contact card and creating multiple, going in and having to create, one after another. You can leverage this task section of command to create a task for multiple people. And then it will do the same thing like it did before, where it will apply to both of the contacts. So if we go into Michael, it will still show that task there as well. And we have the same options of snoozing, archiving, or marking it complete. And then, so if we complete it, it'll show you that it's been checked off. And it will get rid of this bubble once we refresh. So it'll only show bubbles for tasks that we have not completed yet. And then up here, you can also see that there's completed tasks. And so you can go in here and see all the tasks that you've completed, any tasks that you've archived, and anything that is expired or potentially overdue. And so this is another thing that you want to make sure that you get in here and check is that none of your tasks are overdue. If you don't snooze them or don't mark them as check, they'll end up in here under the expired tab. And so you can go through and see what maybe you've missed out on for the week, I try to build a routine around this. So checking it, at the end of every day, or, checking it every other day, and just making sure that we're not having anything slip through the cracks. And so you can go in and see everything that's overdue. There's also another part of tasks that you can see up here. It's all opportunity tasks. And this is not necessarily tasks associated with a specific contact that you've created. These are tasks that our reviewing brokers will create related to an opportunity. And so let's say that you submit documentation or a contract to be reviewed, and they need something else. So let's say that you put the purchase and sale agreement where the form 17 is supposed to go. Lewis or Shay or whoever your reviewing brokers are will actually come in here and send you a task to remedy that. And so anything that you have as far as compliance will appear here. And so you can go in and see what action needs to be taken. I don't have any open opportunities right now, so I don't have anything, the ability to show you what that looks like. But it will create a task for you so that none of that stuff slips through the cracks and that you get paid on time. One of the things that is important that we stay compliant. And so we have our wonderful compliance officers that will make sure that they create tasks for us if anything needs remedying. And so I try to make a routine of checking this, if I'm in escrow or if I have a transaction that's under contract, I'll get in here every single day and just check to make sure that, there's no tasks associated with the documents that I've submitted. And so that's a very broad overview of tasks and how you can utilize them. We're going to jump into SmartPlans, but any questions on tasks so far? We're going to come back to this, but any questions so far? All righty. So with SmartPlans, the reason we combine SmartPlans and tasks is because you can also create tasks through SmartPlans. And so SmartPlans, you can think of SmartPlans as automating your database. And so a good example is, we'll stick with the open house example, is someone comes into your open house, they sign in, and you build a good conversation with them, and you want to make sure that you follow up with them, rather than going through tasks and creating multiple tasks for, call this contact, text this contact, email this contact. You can build out a smart plan, and a smart plan is a multi-step system where you can apply that to a contact, and it will apply text message, phone calls, emails, market updates. You can do a lot with it. And rather than having to go through each time you have someone in an open house and build all those tasks out, you can just apply the smart plan and it'll build all that out for you. So we talk about leverage a lot, and this is where you can kind of start leveraging command to work for you. And so as you start to grow your database and you're getting, 50 people, 100 people, 200 people, you can come in and start applying smart plans to those individuals. And so you continue to touch them and have contact with them without having to necessarily reach out and text them yourself. You can have the system text them for you, or you can have the system email them for you. And then you wait for that contact to respond. And then, so when you're on SmartPlans, if you have this blue box here, I'm gonna recommend that you go in to the marketplace and activate your Twilio subscription. Twilio is a service that we use through command for phone calls, text messages, and it allows you to text to your contacts through command, and really kind of unlocks the power of SmartPlans. If you don't want to use Twilio, that's completely okay. SmartPlans can be leveraged to create tasks or to remind you of things, like if you want to text them from your personal phone. You can still build out SmartPlans that you can apply to people that will remind you to do that. But with Twilio, it allows it to be a little bit more automated, so you don't have to actually pick up the phone and text someone. The system will do it for you. And so if you want to activate Twilio, you just have to go to the marketplace. The marketplace is right up here by the bell, or you can just click right here. And so if we go into the marketplace, you can see Twilio pops up, and they have different plans over here. So if you're a new agent just starting out, you can start with this just extra small plan and add it to your command. And this will give you a personalized phone number that you can use to text your contacts. And what's great about that is you also have the ability to see all of your interactions with that contact through their contact card. So if they reply to a text, you're going to get that through command. And so it keeps it all centralized, which is really great. So SmartPlans, like I said, they're basically a system, an automation that you can apply to your contact that will automatically build out steps for you. And so we'll stick with the open house plan. And so you can see here that I already have one built out. So my open house follow-up, this should be in your command as well. These are standardized plans that you can utilize. And you can see duration. So this auto plan will apply to that contact for a period of 20 days. So we know by applying the smart plan, we're going to maintain contact with that individual for 20 days. And then there's 7 total touches over those 20 days. So we're going to have either 7 phone calls, text messages, emails, in-person follow-up. So 7 total touches. And so if we want to see what the smart plan looks like, we can actually drop down right here. And then it will show you a brief overview of what that auto plan actually looks like. And so you can see that as soon as you apply the auto plan to an individual and you have Twilio connected, it will actually send them a text message saying, hey, Dwight, thanks for coming by. What did you think of the open house? And so that's the first text that they're going to be able to send. And what's great, like I said, is it sends it on your behalf. So you don't actually have to get into your iPhone or your other, an actual physical phone to text them. Command will do it for you. So if you have 10, 15 people come through an open house, you're able to easily contact them all without having to spend much time. And then delays, this is just, what a delay is, it just simply means that nothing's going to happen with the smart plan for another day. So they'll receive a text message and then the system will wait 1 day before any other action occurs. And you can totally adjust this. So if you wanted, let's say you have a buyer that is looking 6 months out, you can go in and build an auto plan, which I'm going to show you how to do, where you can actually adjust this delay. So you can send them a message and then maybe 5 days later, you can do a touch task. And then here you can see send a nice to meet you at the open house email to your lead. And you can kind of see, their first name, their last name, and email. And this will create a task in your tasks. So you don't actually have to go in and create the task individually. You can build it out through the smart plan. And then we have another delay of 2 days, and then a phone call. So we want to call the open house lead to see if they're interested in any more upcoming open houses. Another delay, and the system's going to send them another text message to follow up. Another delay, and then it's going to prompt you to make another phone call. Another delay, it's going to send them another text message. Another delay, and then a touch task. So this could be an email, this could be popping by their, if you're door knocking, popping by their house again. Another delay. And then this last part is actually super cool. So after it's through this 20 days of this smart plan, you can actually have the system automatically apply another smart plan so that you're maintaining contact with everyone in your database on a regular basis without actually having to do much. And so once this smart plan completes, it'll actually apply another smart plan to them so they continue to get contact. So maybe over the course of the 20 days, they haven't responded and it's kind of gone to a cold lead. We don't want to just, get rid of that or archive that lead. We want to make sure that we're still maintaining contact. And so you can actually apply another smart plan that maybe goes 3 months and touches them a little bit less frequently. And that way they're still getting your information, you're still front of mind, but you're maybe not texting them every couple of days. And so there's a lot of pre-built ones in here that you can use that KW has imported as part of your new command system. And so you can go through and kind of build these out or edit them and see which ones you want to use. What's great about KW command is there's also a whole library of smart plans. And so you can come into here as well and see all of the smart plans that other agents across the country have been utilizing and have seen success with. And so typically agents, when they have a auto plan or I'm sorry, a smart plan that works really well for them, they'll share it out with other agents. And so, we'll go back to the example of earlier with, not having Dwight's phone number, but only having his email address. So let's say that, rather than going in and creating a task for that, what if we leverage SmartPlans to do that for us? So if we come up here and type in missing and hit search, it's going to pull up, here we have 69 results of different smart plans relating to missing contact information. And so you can go through and read over these, see which one you like best. And you can see that some of these are even one-step auto plans. So rather than going through and typing out a whole email to them in command, you can just go through and apply the smart plan and it'll take care of that for you. So rather than having to go through and type out a long email, you're just going through and applying one smart plan and the system will take care of the rest. So let's say that we're still missing Dwight's phone number and I want to use this smart plan. So let's see, we're going to view the steps and see one simple email, and you can pull it up and hover over it and it'll give you what that email looks like. And so I'm going to read through this and say, well, that looks great. That's the one that I would like to use. I can hit add smart plan and then you can hit download. And what that's going to do is take it out of the library and put it into your smart plans. You can see right here, it's populated. And so let's say that I wanted to apply this smart plan to Dwight because I know that he didn't use his phone number at sign in. I can come over here to under actions and I can hit add contact. And then I can select Dwight and you can apply the same smart plan to multiple people. So let's say you're going through your database and you realize that you have 6 or 7 contacts that don't have phone numbers. You can go through and select all those individuals and apply it all at the same time. But Dwight's the only one that's missing a phone number. So we're going to go over here and hit add to smart plan. And then we can either start it right away or we can start it on another date. So we're going to start it right away. That way we can try to get that phone number as soon as possible. And we're going to hit confirm. And it's going to tell me that I don't have Twilio set up, but that's okay because this is an email. We'll hit confirm. And just like that, the system is going to send that email, the one that we have under the smart plan, this one here, out to Dwight on our behalf, just by applying that smart plan to him. If we wanted to see what smart plans were applied to an individual, we can come back to contacts and go into Dwight. And over here on the top, you can see the smart plans button. So we can click into there. I'll try refreshing here. Well, love technology. Sometimes it doesn't work as intended, but you can see here that it did go through. And so we have, smart plan subscribe to my missing phone number smart plan. And then it has, I had just a random email in there. So you can see, oh, it actually came back and it wasn't a valid email address. And so you can actually see that here, that, the email address that Dwight used to sign into the open house also wasn't correct. And then it'll show you when that smart plan ended. So if this was a multi-step smart plan, you could go through and see exactly where they were in the smart plan. Because this was only a one-step smart plan, I don't think it's going to appear here. But if it was a multi-step smart plan, you can come in here and see, where they are in the smart plan. You could pause certain activities. You could pause the whole smart plan. You can pull them off the smart plan. And so this is where you would go to see exactly what's happening with the smart plan that you've applied. Go back into smart plans. And let's say that we're feeling really creative and we want to create our own smart plan. So we can come up here, rather than using the library, we can actually create our own. So we'll come up here to create. And we'll name this a new open house one. And then it's going to take us to this page where we can actually build out our smart plan. And so let's say that we want to send them a text. Hit add there. And this is where your Twilio number will pull up. So you can have multiple Twilio accounts connected. If you're like on a team using command, you can drop down here and say, who is this text coming from? I do not have Twilio connected right now, but I can come down here and say hello. And then because we're using an automated system, we want to make sure that we're personalizing it. So if I wanted to make sure that their first name was here, rather than typing in, a random name, we want to make sure that it's actually sending their information. And so down here where this little F is, we can drop down there, and it's going to pull up all these different pre-filled fields that we can use. And so if we wanted to use their first name, we can come up here to contact first name and click that. And it's going to drop it in right next to it and make it blue so that we know that that is pulling from another information source within command. Come in here and say thank you for stopping by. Did you want to meet up and talk about writing an offer? Well, I guess we should probably tell them who we are, right? Alrighty, and then we can come down here and hit check. And so there's our first step in the auto plan. Now let's say that we want to wait a couple of days before we add another one. So we're going to come in here and hit set delay. And this is just going to tell the system, hey, I want you to wait a certain number of days before any other activity occurs on this auto plan. So let's say that we want to wait 1 day. So we'll hit check there. And then we can minimize that. And let's say that we wanted to send them an email. We can say open house coming up. And then we can actually type out an email. So we can do the same thing that we did before. So right here, the function button has moved, but we can drop down right there and then come up here to contact first name. I sent you a text the other day, but have not heard back. I wanted to let you know of some open houses coming up this weekend. When is a good time to go through those? And you can build this out to be a really long email. You can just keep them short. And then we'll add our signature here. And then we can hit save. And so the system is going to send this out right after you apply it. It's going to wait a day and then send them another email. And then let's say that we wanted to call them. So we're going to add another delay. And let's say we wanted to wait 2 or 3 days. So we'll put 3 days there, hit check, and drop this back down. And then we'll come over here to make a call. And then we'll always select today. You can say due in 1, 2, 3, or 4 days. I like to use today because we've already set the delay up here. And so today, that's going to prioritize this call so that we get it done that day. That way, if we only have a delay of 1 or 2 days on the next action item, they're not getting the next action item before we've had an opportunity to try to make contact through phone. And this here is actually going to create a task under your tasks. And then you can go into the contact and call them with your Twilio account connected. So we can say call open house lead. And then we can come over here and say first name and last name. That way, if we met multiple people at the open house and we're applying the smart plan to them all at the same time, we know exactly which contact that is going to be associated with. Task description. Oftentimes with smart plans, especially if you go through the library and start, there with stuff that's already built out, this is where a lot of agents will put their scripts. And so if you have a particular open house script that you like to use on your first call when you call them, you can actually drop that in here. And that way, when you're in command and you're actually calling out to them, you don't have to have another screen pulled up with your script. It's right there built into the auto plan. So we can build out a script right there. And then same thing like with tasks, you can add a hyperlink as well. And then we'll just hit select there. And then let's say that we have had no contact with these initial 3 touches, and we want to apply another smart plan to them because that they've gone cold or they haven't responded. So we'll wait 3 days, see if they call us back, and then we can hit add to another smart plan here on the right side, and we can drop down and actually select another smart plan. So let's say we wanted to nurture them long-term. At the open house, we remember that they mentioned that they were looking for 6 to 9 months out. So we can select my long-term nurture and then save both of those. And then that's the end of the smart plan. So we can go through and just review it and make sure that it all looks okay. So we have our first text message right after we apply it. The system will wait 1 day. We'll send an email. System will wait 3 days. System will remind us through tasks to make a call. It'll be creating another delay, and then it'll apply them to another smart plan, my long-term nurture. All righty, so that looks perfect. If I wanted to, I can add a contact directly from here to apply this to, or I can come up here to save, and then I can back out here, and you can see all of the adjustments that we just created right here. The system will automatically apply a duration and how many total touches there are. And then once again, we can come over here and hit add contact. And let's say we want to apply this one to Michael. We can hit add to smart plan, start right now, confirm. And then it's going to give me this warning that I don't have Twilio set up, but that's okay. We'll just hit continue. And then that will start the auto plan for Michael. Any questions so far on smart plans? Alrighty. Well, let's go back into the library. I always encourage agents to start here, especially if they're new, because these are tried and true smart plans that other agents around the country have used. And so, starting here is saving you the work of having to build out smart plans in the beginning to see if they work or they don't work, if what the conversion rate would be on those. These are all already designed by agents. And so you can come in here, and this is going to sort by feature at first, but you can come in here and select most used, top rated, the newest ones. So let's go to most used. Let's see what the most tried and true ones are here. And so we've got quarterly call plans. So this one here, it's only 3 steps over 90 days. But we can apply this to a contact, and it's going to remind us every month over the quarter to call them. So we can come in here and hit view steps. And then so phone call, delay of 90 days, and then repeat. So, if we wanted to make sure that we were calling a contact every 90 days, we can come in here and apply this, and this will actually create the task for us. So let's say that we wanted to, let's find a longer one here. So this is 15 steps over 56 days, and there's 8 touches. So let's go in here and take a peek at this. So we've got a text, a delay, a touch task. So if we wanted to send an email, another delay, a phone call. So yeah, this one looks good. Let's go ahead and use this one. So we can hit add smart plan. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Okay, this one's not gonna, the reason I was doing that is because this one will start another auto plan for them. So let's go into here and add this one. Wow, it's giving me all sorts of issues, guys. Sorry. Let's try this one. Wow. Okay. Well, all these have another smart plan that applies to them. So you'll have to download multiple ones. But once you've applied them to your library, so we'll go into this missing phone number. This is one that we added from the library earlier. We can start with that as kind of a template. We can go in here and actually edit that one. So rather than building it out from scratch, we can start with something that someone's already started to build out. And let's say that we wanted this to be multi-step. You know, we like the first message, but we realized the client might not respond right away. So we can actually build more of this out. So we can hit set delay. We can set 3 days. And then we can send another email. Did you get my email? And then you can come down here and say, hey, I sent you an email the other day. Did you receive it? I'd love to be able to send some information to you through text. What is a good number for you? And then let's say that they don't respond to this one. We can set another delay. Rather than having the auto plan just end, we can come in here and select 3 days or 2 days. And then we can, let's say that we build out another auto plan for people that don't have email addresses or that don't have phone numbers. So it's just going to send them emails. And, you know, it's more of a long-term nurture, you know, multiple contacts over a couple of months. And because we don't have their phone number, we know that it has to be email. We can go and build another smart plan around that and hit add to smart plan. We can actually select it from here. And so that way you're still nurturing them. And you're not, you know, just missing out on this contact that you met in an open house just because you don't have their phone number. And so, you know, utilize the email that they've given you to actually keep in contact with them. And hopefully that will end up in turn allowing you to get the rest of their contact information. So we can save that. And then hit save. And we have made that adjustment. And so, yeah, I always, like I said, encourage agents to start here rather than building out their own. You know, eventually you will start building out your own as you know, start getting responses from people. And, you know, one of the things that I also get feedback from my clients on is, you know, how do you feel the contacts going? Are you getting too many contacts? Are you getting not enough contacts? And getting that real-time feedback from your clients, you know, because they don't realize that it's an auto plan that's sending it out or a smart plan. You know, the ability to go in and actually make another touch with your contacts to say, hey, you know, are you getting enough information from me? Is it too much? And then you can go through and adjust your auto plans based off that real-time feedback that you're getting from your clients. But yeah, starting here is a great way to start because you can, you know, utilize all of the different scripts and emails that people have already put in here, and then just adjust them to your liking. So yeah, that's just an overview of smart plans and tasks. One more thing that I'm realizing now is if you come into the smart plans menu on the left here, you can actually see which contacts are applied to that smart plan. So let's say that you have 200 people that you've met in open houses in the last couple of months, and they're applied to this smart plan. You can actually come into here and view which ones are applied. And let's say that Michael is ready to write an offer. You know, you've gotten him all the way through showings and you're about to get into a transaction with him. You know, and you don't want to keep sending him open house information. You can come up here and select his name, and then you can hit confirm unsubscribe. And it will say, are you sure that you want to unsubscribe the contact from the selected smart plan? And you can hit confirm. and it'll pull that person off the smart plan. So whatever further contacts you have in that smart plan, it won't send it out to the contact. And so let's say that you're reaching out to a contact daily because you're showing them homes and they're ready to write an offer. And you don't necessarily need them on a smart plan because you're already having consistent contact with them. You can go in here and actually pull them off of that. And so that way, if you're texting them, it doesn't accidentally send them an email. And then at that point, it starts to kind of feel automated for the client, which is something that, you don't want your clients to know that all this is happening on the back end for you. You want it to appear that it's actually coming from you. So yeah, that's overview of smart plans and tasks. I'd love to open it up for Q&A, and we can definitely dive into certain areas a little bit deeper if you'd like. Does anyone have any questions that they'd like answered? All righty, no questions. Sierra, Kara, is there anything that I missed that I should have added?
I think that was great. Thank you so much.
Awesome, awesome. I know we're wrapping up a little bit early, but my name is Tim, and I'm the assistant team leader here in West Seattle. So if you ever have any questions about smart plans, or you want to dive a little bit deeper in a one-on-one setting, you can definitely reach out to me. I'd be happy to set up time to get in there and help you with your smart plans and tasks.
Thanks so much, Tim. This was very informational today.
Thank you both, and I appreciate you all for coming.
All right, everyone. Happy Tech Thursday. Have a great rest of your day.